Hello, family. Pastor George here. So, hey, last week we had Unitha Muhammad come and we started talking about how we're going to set goals and also how we're going to achieve them. But hey, we're bringing her back for a second week and getting us going for 2022. But hey, before we get into that, also want to let you know that as we do every week, and we're going to continue this, is that we would like to pray for you. Know that every day that I pray for you, I pray that God would continue to bless you. I pray that you'd be a good steward over what God blesses you with. And we have stewardship in 4 areas. Time, meaning that God blesses with 86,400 seconds in a day. Then God blesses with a talent, that you have a talent or a skill. Guys, I'm going somewhere with talent or a skill. And then third, he blesses you with a temple. That means your body, always take care of it. And then also the fourth thing he blesses you with is, as you know, treasure and finances. So we pray that you'd be a good steward over what God blesses you with. If you would like prayer in any particular area, just type in the chat. We'll respond back and let you know we're praying for you, and we will pray. We'll pray for you. So just let us know. So you can type that in the chat, whether you're on Facebook, whether on YouTube, or whether you're also on our website. Just let us know, and we'd be more than happy to pray for you. But hey, you guys, you know what? We are right now. This is the last Tuesday of the month. So we are getting ready to head into 2022. And we want to make sure that we're starting like, boom, just coming out the blocks like a racer. So you guys, there are 2 clubs. There are 2 clubs in the world. There's something called the Starters Club. That's where, you know the Starters Club, right? I'm gonna graduate from college. I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna stay married. I'm gonna buy a house. I'm gonna do this car. Whatever the goal is, that's called the Starters Club. People just say things. And then you got another club. By the way, everybody's in the Starter Club. Then we got another club, and that club is called the Finishers Club. Somebody say Finishers Club. You type in the chat if you want to. Maybe I will too. Anyway, the Finishers Club. That's who actually finish the goals, or the goals that have been set. So what we want to do is we want to be in the Finishers Club. So you're saying to yourself, Pastor George, how do I get in the Finishers Club? Well, first of all, we're going to be covering that today. Goal setting. So we're going to be talking about like number 1, starting, but I'll just let you know up front. Your goals got to be written. And then, by the way, we always do this. Deepak, desire. God gives you the desires of your heart. And then you want to have desire. Then you want to have focus, how you achieve the goals. So we'll show you how to achieve it. Be some level of focus on what you're doing. And then you want to have some level of accountability where you're telling someone about your goals. One of the things I want to do is I'm going to make some changes in the way that I eat and different things, but I'm going to start sending my diet or sending what I eat to other people so that they do that. So you want to actually find that out, and you want to actually begin to do that. So have accountability. And then the fourth is consistency. So it's desire, focus, accountability, and consistency. So you want to have all those factors to achieve your goals. So we're going to be having goal setting meetings, and we're having the sessions right now that we're going to be working on, that we're going to do, but you want to start having a process of how you're going to do that. So remember that desire, focus, accountability, and consistency. I want to show you like how you actually walk through that process. And you want to continue to do that. So you guys, I'm so excited. Please type in the chat what you're in 2022. We're going to start talking about what your goals are, what you want to achieve. And by the way, in 2021, if you were unable to achieve it, that doesn't mean you can't achieve it. You can achieve it now. So one of the things, again, we're going to continue to walk through this. And I got to tell you, I am so excited about what we're going to do. And then also, if you guys remember, in 2021 and 2020, we had to look at what we were doing. And then I'm going to say pivot. Somebody say pivot. Pivot means we had to change some things we're doing. Remember how you just went into the office every day, so everything was just that way? It's now things are a little bit different. We have to take things and we have to be able to pivot, and we have to be able to make changes. And if you guys notice, there's certain things that very few things have remained the same. Let's look at what changes are, but let's look how we can be intentional in doing that and also in achieving it. So intentional means like, hey, let's look at, how can we do this? So in other words, we want to buy a house, what the steps are to that. Like in other words, like, do we need to work on our credit? Do we need to make more income? Do we need to do this? What do we need to do to achieve the goals? But first, we got to set the goals, walk for them, and achieve it. So now we're getting ready to start the show. So, man, let's go ahead. Let's start the show. Family, we're back. Another episode of Set-4-Life. We've been talking about setting goals. And hey, by the way, this is part 2. Part 1, we had Nita walk through all of the different things about her background. Look, life coach, mother, runs our groups here at the church. You guys can check that episode out. But right now, we're going to get right back into setting goals and then setting them up. So by the way, we already said, don't wait until January 1st or don't wait now. So we want to do them. So, hey, you know, there's always the very popular acronyms and everything about how people set goals. So one of the things we want to do is we want to go over areas they set goals, but there's acronyms we always hear. Like you've heard of SMART goals, right? So they always say something that's specific, something that's measurable. And then there's something that, you know, when we go through all of them, then also the A, you know, stands for, you know, something that is actionable. And then they want to have realistic is the R, and then T is time bound. You familiar with SMART goals or anything like that? You ever done things like? Yes. So
that's anyone who works in any type of administration, you should have SMART goals. You should
right. But you know, Nita, you've done this, and then hopefully have a little bit of time to talk about. She's done vision board parties. We've done certain things like this. So I want to talk about different things. But do you have any acronyms that you use for setting for goal setting, or use SMART?
My 2022 acronym that was inspired by Set-4-Life is KNOW. You guys,
what does KNOW stand for? Let's go.
KNOW stands for, number one, knowledge. The K stands for knowledge. What do you know how to do really good? Come on, y'all. We got to figure it out. This is for us setting goals, but this is also for us financial planning and building businesses. And then,
can I comment on your K? Let me know when you finish. I'm going to comment on that as well.
That's it. That's the
gotcha.
K. No.
So let me go back to K. Is this? Okay, guys, ready for 2022? And then also, if you watch this way later after it's already 2022, is look at not only what you do know, look at what you don't know and what you have to get a skill in. Like in other words, like hey, maybe you didn't know how to edit. Then you go down the and start learning from either go down the Apple Store, go to that. You can do virtual, or you can do like me. You can get a PhD in YouTube University.
I was about to say it.
I have graduated from YouTube University. My daughter, my kids are so they'll watch me fix stuff. You guys know why my kids broke the door, and I told you guys they broke the door, but they refused to say they did. And but anyway, what I did was I just watched YouTube videos on different things. And then remember we're talking about that and the properties. Remember that I was learning how to snake toilet. I was learning how to do certain plumbing things. I took my son with me, and then he held the camera, and then I did it. Then the next time I held the camera and he did it. So I mean, you want us to start doing it. So if you don't know something, then we're going to figure out you're going to go to YouTube University, or you're going to start, getting your dream team together, people that are very good at certain things, and start hanging about them. We're going to talk about them when we hit our goals, like working out in these areas. Okay, so that was K. Go ahead.
And Nita. Then the N is the niche. What is your target audience? Who are the people that you're marketing to? Who are you presenting a service to? You need to know that. Like for me in my life coaching, I attract women. My niche audience is women that are 30 to 40 years old, you know, and they are successful women. They're women who already have their career set. They're knocking it out the box, and I help them. They're a public success, but they may be a private mess. And I help them to thrive in their personal life as well as in their professional life. So that's my niche.
Okay, gotcha. So everyone, so what we're gonna do is write that down. For what your niche is, because you guys, when we teach business classes and everything, we want to make sure that you're targeted towards that.
Yes.
And then, oh my gosh, then you guys remember that, because we're gonna bring now, Nita, we got you coming back again later. Later on, we're gonna have her come back, because after you figure out your niche, you want to become very dominant in it.
That's right.
And then you want to expand it.
You coming to my O now.
Okay. I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm gonna leave it alone, but I'm gonna sit down right now. I'm gonna bring you Starbucks as an illustration. But go ahead. Let's go to O.
Starbucks after I do O, because you're going right into it. So the O is observe the landscape. Observe the landscape of those who are doing what you want to do. And that's what Pastor George was talking about. You got to look at who's out there knocking it out the box. You got to observe them, see what they're doing, how they're doing it. Because why do you have to start from scratch? You see what people are doing and you extract the things that are you, and you put your spin on it. You put your thing on it. You make it personalized for who you are. But if I already know how to do a business plan, why am I gonna, why would I then try to do something that someone else has already done and I can learn from them? So you look and observe what people are doing, so you'll see what works, what doesn't work, what's the best practices, how to make it do what it do, and then personalize it to who you are and to what your service is.
I'm coming back to end first. If you want to have your niche, so you guys find out what you're going to do. Starbucks used to sell coffee, hot coffee during the daytime. And then that was their niche.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to observe people. I think they observed McDonald's, who just did hamburgers. And then McDonald's started expanding to shakes, doing other things, fries, different things. And now they sell everything.
Salads,
everything.
Frappuccinos.
Shakes, smoothies. Then they come out and say, dude, someone type in the chat if you know what a McRib is. Okay, that's you've been to St. Louis. Okay, they have that there.
Yeah.
And then you guys type in the chat something. They were just doing burgers and fries, and then they expanded.
Yep.
Then they got the drive-throughs.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, during the pandemic, all these people, they said there is no better business model than taking people's money and throwing food out of a window. That is the absolute quickest way in what they're doing. So McDonald's had that niche. They said, George, I thought you were talking about Starbucks. I did. I think Starbucks, now I'm going to O, Nita. So they're doing it. O is, you said, observe people. I think Starbucks watched McDonald's and said, let's do literally what they're doing. Now, Starbucks has hot coffee, right? And then they started now making cold coffee. Then they had cold coffee. Remember all the Frappuccino? Guys, I'm sorry, my wife worked there, but I don't know all the names. I see people when you go in there, it's like you're calling out a football play. It's like you're coming up to the player going like this. Let me get a Frappuccino mix in the size, venti. Or doing that.
Soy with
soy,
foam,
right?
No foam with the.
But people get addicted to that. So what you're doing is hot coffee, cocoa, and then they're selling scones, croissant, now they're in the food business now.
Yep.
So do you see how they got a niche, and then they use quality, and then kept expanding that niche
because they observed what others were doing.
They did. And then they had that. Then they did that.
Yes.
But you understand why we're talking about this? Is that's what you need to do. It's like that's what we all need to do. I'm watching other people, and then also one expansion on that. I'm watching people that actually aren't in my niche, but they're doing something that I like.
Yes.
So this is we ain't charging nobody extra today. So this is me using the N and the O together.
Yep.
Is you understand what I'm doing is I'm watching somebody. So let me give you an example. I'm watching now people who create really, really good experiences.
Because that's going to help in the business. George, I am too.
So what you do is you watch people that create really good experiences because they're doing it. Like in other words, I'm like, I want everyone to like. So now I'm watching you guys. If I had a cash app, I'd try, but I don't. So anyway, but look, so I don't even know how to use that thing. But look, so listen to this. I want someone to have. I'm following people that have great experiences and really good customer service because that's what we want to do.
Exactly.
Like when you stay at really nice, I'm starting to 4 C's, different things. They treat you a certain way. So we want to start attracting people.
It's like Chick-fil-A. It's like the Ritz-Carlton.
Right.
It's things like that. When you look at how they treat people, because for those of us that have a service, we want our service to stand out. And
Right.
we wanted to do that. So we have to make sure our customer service is excellent. It goes
Right.
back to excellence. So it's very important for this. This is a very key point. And I wanted to stop you there because this is very important that I think, Pastor George, a lot of people don't think about, but it's creating an experience around what you do that will make people want to come back. Why do they want to come back to you? What did you do that was different from everybody else?
Right. Right.
What is so
Nita,
special?
this is very good. So let me, you guys, we're saying this because what you see, what as ministers, we're ministers.
Yeah, we're
so
teaching.
why we're clapping
Yeah,
and why we're
both
teaching is
ministers.
this:
Yeah.
we already see in the future what we're saying right now,
Yes,
and that's
we
why
do.
we're doing it. That's why when she said, "I'm doing the same thing," but I'm saying experience is this: is you guys right now. Service is horrible everywhere. Just type in the chat.
Oh my
If you
God.
guys know anywhere, like
Oh my
I was
God.
in
It is
Chipotle.
so trash. It is
It is
trash.
so bad. Wait. True. This everything you guys already know. You guys already know how transparent I am on this. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm in. I don't care. I'm in Chipotle, and I'm asking this guy, hey, I need you to. I'm doing this, or I said, hey, my kids, I'm making their order, and he goes, oh, you have to do everything. I ordered the kids meal. Said, you have to do everything a la carte. I said, I've been here 100 times. I haven't done that.
No.
And then I went like this. I readjusted my mask, and I was looking down at my daughter, and he said, hey, pull your mask up like that to me. I turned, I looked at him, and I moved my kid over to, you know how you get ready to, I'm gonna step over the counter on him, right? Then I'm like, oh, let me not do it.
I got my baby.
Then I got to let me not do it. Like I like right when he said it, I pulled him. I was like, and then I stopped, paused, and looked at him, and I'm like this, and then this is how good God is, everybody. Gosh, I'm not gonna get mad. I was getting mad again all over. The guy right next to me was a DoorDash, or I think he had a little DoorDash tie.
Uh-huh.
I turned to him and I said to my kids, I said, hey guys, I want you guys to pray for daddy right now. His patience is getting low. I was letting him know what I'm getting.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
Then the guy goes, I said, I turned to the guy, black guy, I look at him, I said, man, my patience right now, people are just, and he goes like this, yeah, man, you gotta have patience. Like the thing like this. I said, yeah. I turned back around. I said, let's come back over here and just order the food. Oh, I'm sorry. They started helping us, but then they started helping other people or doing online orders in front of me. And I don't like them to help other people while I'm standing. Also, guys,
Exactly.
help the people that are standing in front of you.
Yes.
Don't stand around talking on the phone to other people and stuff like that. And then I walked through the line and I just said, let's order it this way, you guys. We ordered the food. Then what happened? Somebody goes, when they were coming in, Pastor Thompson, how are you doing?
Woo! See?
I said,
that happens every time.
That happens every time. They were 2 minutes away. Now, what would happen? What would happen when they would have walked in? I would have been on the other side, fist fight with the people. Yeah, with my kids. Y'all, don't fight the people.
That is real talk. And I love you.
Oh, I was going to do that.
Story because
I was going to do that.
Is very important how even us as believers and believers that are setting goals, are starting businesses, are out here in the marketplace, we have to remember that we represent God wherever we go. And him sharing this story is so important because we can get like that. And customer service right now is trash. And so, and I have been in the same place. And there have been times when my husband and I, who's a pastor and I'm a minister, we got to be like, you got to reel it in, and you have to remember, oh my God, Lord, help me get this under subjection. How can I say this better? How can I communicate that this is not acceptable in a way that I don't have to put hands, like Toby said, try Jesus, but don't try me. Cause I lay hands.
right. Cause I was about to lay hands on. So this is the problem. It's not about people, even I want you to understand about them recognize me or someone saying it. It's that in front of my kids, I just want them to be like, when they go, hey mom, we was at dad was up there fighting with the people. You know what I mean? Like, so exactly. So first of all, you want to be a representative. And I want them to see the resolve. Like they saw me in traffic. We had to do all this stuff at school where I sat here and we were fighting with traffic. I'm already, and I talked to you earlier, was dealing with a real estate agent with a contract that wasn't doing stuff right. Then I pick up my kids and they're sitting there. Then they, and then we sit there and we're going through this. And then you got to deal with real life issues. So also, you guys, there's something called a champion. So what we do is in champions, you know what I mean? Like what we have to do is not doing that. We have to show resolve. So there's times when I have to sit back and go, let me sit back and let me talk this. But then also I had to let that gentleman know. So then actually, it's actually a good thing. Then when they finished, I said, are you the manager? And he said, yes, I am. I said, hey, I just want to let you know. And then my kids, after they got the food, I said, I just really just didn't appreciate the way that you were talking to me in doing that. And then also, if that's a new rule or new policy that where you're doing that, I just wish you articulated to me without, not wish you articulated, but I explained that to him. And then after that, he didn't charge all those things on there, but I said to let him know that's just not how you talk to people.
That's right. And that's it. That's it.
Because he said, hey, pull your mat like that to me. And I was like, hey, man, but then instead of us getting a verbal one, I just had him come over the counter and we just talked peacefully as men, and then doing that. So this is the good point is we did. But now, if he would act as silly as he was before, then there'd be a different report.
Yeah. We just would. No, you would have worked through it. You would have worked through it. Yeah, you would have worked through it. And that goes to the W in the no, and that's work. You got to put in the work, needed to achieve the goals. You got to put in the work. George, I think that's the difference between those who dream and those who watch their dreams become reality. I tell a story to people sometimes when I'm ministering. My father passed away a few years ago, and he was a great dreamer. And there was many, and he would walk our family into his dreams, and he would drive us to Beverly Hills and say, I'm gonna own a house like this. And he would do these different things with our family and take us along on these dreams. And he would set these goals and he would do these things. But there were many goals before he passed that he didn't achieve. He achieved a lot, but there was some he didn't achieve. And the difference is because there were areas where he didn't implement, where he didn't go the next step. So you can write as many SMART goals as you want. You can sit and you can dream till the cows come home. You can make a list of everything you want to see happen. But if you don't put that work in, if you don't implement, if you don't do it, those dreams will never become a reality. And you'll live your whole life and never achieve the things that you knew were in you to achieve. And I'm going to tell you, Pastor George, that I believe that's the number one issue, a reason why we have so many people that are frustrated, so many people that are anxious, so many people that are depressed, so many people that are angry, because they're angry. It's all inward. It's all things that they're feeling internally that they're then bringing out to others because they're not happy with the choices and the life that they're living. But when you start working that thing, it is nothing. And I know, Pastor George, you have felt this. It's nothing like when you have set a goal and that thing is done and you can check it off. I'm telling you, it is. And me personally, I even love the process. I love even when I'm working it. I get this energy and this momentum while I'm working that thing as it's becoming a reality. That is beautiful too. But when you check it off and say it's done, I don't care, you guys, if it's folding a load of clothes. When those clothes are folded and put away, there we go. So put the work in. That's the W.
Right. Well, first of all, thank you for bringing us back to the W. I thought if I was about to get off here and we go down
we would have been
parking lot. Yeah. Go down the parking lot and scrap it. Okay. So, but you guys, the work. So everybody remember this. I'm sorry, don't write nothing down. I know I'm the only one writing. Type it down. Is that you guys, there's two clubs right now in the world. Okay. There's something called the Starters Club. Yes. I want to go to college. I'm going to graduate from college. I'm going to buy a house, which you see your dad at resident. I want to in Beverly Hills, because people come to me all the time. George, I want to buy a home. George, I want to do this. I want to be in this great relationship. I want to do this. Do this. And there's something called the Finishers Club.
Yes.
Those are people that actually achieve it.
Yes.
So now I'm going to tell you about the Finishers Club and everything. So what you want to do is you want to actually get into that club. So one of the things you want to do is also what you brought up is doing it because there's a goal of achievement. Is start
Yes,
setting smaller goals. You
that's
guys,
right.
this is gonna be so good. So we have a
Woo.
whole series of start setting smaller goals. Like see the thing
Yes.
that you do. So like a lot of times when I'm setting my goals, I'm gonna go through my process in just a moment too, is I set ones like do this, load the dishwasher, take this up, then also eat lunch, eat a healthy lunch because you want to, that's part of your health goals. And doing this, and it's something that's simple, but you feel better. There's also one that actually was written by that was also over an admiral that was over Navy SEALs, and he has one called "Make Your Bed." He said there's so many things you have to do, but if you start making your bed, then that gives you a sense of accomplishment. But that's one. But secondly, you get this. That's one. But the second thing you get is this: when you come home after a hard day of work, everything's already in order. You don't want to have things that are
Yeah.
not in order. So what happens is when you start setting goals, you start doing what things that are in order. As you know, the word says we want to be decent
And in order.
and in order.
Yeah.
So you understand that? So see, you're decent order with that, with your bed. But then see, then also when you go places, I'm bringing it up one more time. I'm gonna be decent and in order when I'm dealing with people, and they're gonna be decent in order in how you're doing things. And then now I got to comment. Then so there's the starters club, there's the finishers club. You know what's in between? As Nita would say, the work.
Yep.
You got to get used to the work and enjoying it. Just to let you guys know something a little bit about when you play, just bringing up athletics again in college and sorry, when you're playing athletics, you actually have to enjoy practice, enjoy working on skills, enjoy that.
FYI, everyone, he was the volleyball person.
All right, gotcha.
Volleyball king.
Gotcha. So when we do things, what we do is we work. And then I just want to say one more thing about this. Is Bishop Ballmer's been doing, he's just teaching a series, and then people say that, you know, all things work together for good and everything. Yeah. He's like, that is completely misquoted.
Yep.
It's God works. I'm going to repeat it again. God works in all things. So I'm sorry, I'm getting excited. So what happens is when we start working on godly things, then God starts working. So then what happens is when things happen that are bad, right? Things that you may take as bad, they actually may be opportunities. I'm actually going to explain something. Do you guys know this pandemic? There's actually a group of people that are doing better than they were before. So what happens is it created certain things. Certain businesses folded up. So you say, but wait a minute, you know, my industry, What happened is your industry changed. There are ones that do better. Like people say, my restaurant closed because you can do this. I'm like, but wait, there's restaurants that are doing better.
Yeah.
And so this is the thing. I know a lot of people, they say, hey, a lot of people close their doors. I said, that's a lot of your competitors. You have a less competitor. Now the relationships, I'm bringing back something we said earlier. So if you're creating good experiences,
that's right.
They're the people that are going to do it. So, like to give you an example, I was just using an example of something I told you about great experiences. So we started financial advisors. They started asking me certain questions about how the pandemic was. I said, tell them how we're doing better. You guys, by the way, I had these things called pandemic stocks that were a thing I talked about, like that would do better. This is the second thing I did because I was in LA. There's advisors all over the country. I started doing drive-bys where my clients that were a little more mature, older, I would just come to their house, but I would say, no, don't come outside. You can open your door. And I'm just going to talk to you for about 15 minutes. Just say hi.
That's
to give
good.
them interactions because they weren't having their grandkids or kids weren't coming by because of the pandemic and different things. I said, I'm just going to talk to you, not about finance. I'm just going to just build relationships. Do you know that experience they had was doing that? Now, is that how much did that cost for me? It wasn't expensive. It wasn't this. I wasn't, you know, it was just, I was coming over and doing that.
Yeah.
So you guys understand something? Think outside the box, but do the work. And enjoy it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and also in thinking outside the box is being flexible, because one of the things that where you were flexible, you were open to something new, and then you were flexible. We have to be flexible when we're stepping out and doing something new, or when something like this, the pandemic, like you, my personal business grew because guess what? Everyone was depressed. So I'm a life coach. So people wanted to talk through things. People wanted to figure out how to make their life work. You know, we have where they talked about the great exodus, that people were leaving jobs, but a lot of it was because they realized that they were in careers that weren't fulfilling. They weren't living out their purpose. So as a life coach, I was helping people tap into their purpose. So again, you got to be flexible. You got to be able to see what the times Always keep your finger on the pulse of current events and what's going on. I'm really good at that. And I use that in my business because I learn what's going on. I see what people are talking about. And then I tailor my coaching to that so that I can make sure that my clients, I know they're going to come in the door saying, I'm going through this. I'm so depressed. Okay. I have an answer for that. Let's walk through this process. Let's go through this and let's see how we can make this better for you. So you have to be flexible because the flexibility will open up doors that you never thought would be open to you and opportunities will come. So it's a great thing.
Yeah. So that's really key. What you just said is that, to be flexible. And when we were teaching our class last year, we kept saying that also flexible means that you can stretch, but also means you can pivot and run hard. Yes. So that means like do it. So please look at everything like it's learning, it's training, and it's opportunity. Like there's just so many things you can do it. The second opportunity that a lot of people took advantage of that I see is that now everything is virtual. Where like you can have people, it's like now the world is flat. In other words, you can go anywhere. Like there's like I have friends, I have relatives, I also have clients that they had a job in LA, but now they have a job. It's in Chicago, but they don't have to. It's virtual.
That's right.
So I mean, you can get a job you can just all of a sudden now get a job anywhere in the country. And they said, they said you got to come in twice a year. Then they're like, I don't even bother. We'll just all meet somewhere or doing it. Yeah. So you understand there's a lot of opportunities. So everybody, this is a blessing. I just want to let you also know. Let me know what you thought about this episode. We're gonna have more coming later on in the area of, we gotta have, Anita, I'll just have one last question to you about vision board and kind of how we do it. And then we want to do it. And then some steps people need to do just to set them up for us to come. But we want to start doing things where we set goals and we achieve them. Yes. How we actually do it in Set-4-Life, just, Set-4-Life is written on desire. God gives you the desires of your heart. So we're going to write goals and we wrap in these 4 things, these 4 areas. First, God gives you the desires of your heart. Then we have to have a focus, how we're going to achieve the goal. And then we have to have some accountability. You're going to have a partner that you work with through these goals. And then the C stands for consistency. There has to be some consistency about how you're going to actually achieve these goals. I'll be doing more Set-4-Life episodes. And by the way, I also put the book in the chat. You can also go there and start getting that, but we want to start setting up our goals. So Nita, if you can just, I want you to ask one closing question. If you can just answer something for us, is just tell us a little bit about what we do with vision boards and some things that people can start setting up before we have our next meeting.
Yes, and I look forward to the vision board. It's going to be great. Well, one thing about vision is the Bible talks about vision. It says, write the vision and make it plain. And it's about making it plain so that not only can you see it, but others can see it and run with it. And part of that is, I want you guys to really think about this when you think about visioning, because some people want to run away from that. I don't want to do that. But I want you to think about, if you have a vision and you have it written, then you can get investors, you can get partners, you can get people who will see that vision and be like, hey, I like that vision. I'm gonna come along with that vision. I'm gonna be a part of that. But if you don't have it out there and no one knows, how are they gonna be a part of it? How are they gonna come and use your resource? And how are they going to invest in your resource? So a lot of the things that you're looking for to even get your business or your vision off the ground is you don't have it because you haven't written a vision. So that's number one. So writing a vision helps you to make things clear. It helps you to know where you're going. And it helps you to set the steps and create the goals that'll help you get there. But first, George, one thing that people may not think about, but this is what I say when you're getting ready to write a vision, you start out by dreaming. Because there comes a point when we got to just take all the boundaries out and all the limitations out and just dream big and just let your imagination go. Just go and write down everything you get in that time, because 9 times out of 10, that thing, it's even going to be more. What God's going to give you to do is going to be even more than what you dreamed. And so you start off by dreaming. And then number 2, that's when you start planning. After you start dreaming, you create the plan. You create that plan. And I'm going to tell this to some people because some people don't like it. Calendars are your friend. They are your friends, whether they're digital, whether they're like you see it back here. I got 2 calendars on my wall behind me. Calendars are your friends. Being able to track your time and what you're doing and how you do it, like when George was talking about, I'm gonna do this time, I'm gonna do that at this time. It's very important. Again, it's about being intentional how you use your time. Time, a major commodity, you guys. It's a major commodity. You do not have time to waste. And then next, Pastor George talked about it, be accountable. And accountability is not just about did you finish the goal, but accountability is also you got a safe place in. You have a place where you can ask questions of someone who's in a similar field or doing something, and you can ask them questions when you get stuck. It's a place for resources. It's a place for encouragement. It's a place where you can get, if you fall off track, you can get back on track. And then the last thing is, expect to win. Don't go in thinking about failure. Let me tell you something that I know about Pastor George. He talks winning. He lives winning. And that's why he always wins. When I look at a lot of people who have achieved things, you never hear great businessmen or people that have achieved great goals. You never heard Kobe talk about, well, if I win the game tonight, if I'm just a good player. No, Kobe was like, I'm Mamba. I am the man. I got this. I am the greatest. What did Muhammad Ali say? I'm the greatest. I'm beautiful. I'm the greatest. And guess what? We bought that because we would be like, wow, Muhammad Ali is handsome and he is the greatest. And he lived. And when he died, what did we say? He was the greatest of all time. He spoke it. Whether he really was or not, he put that in us so much that we believed it, and he died being labeled that. So again, expect to win. Listen to some DJ Khaled music. Listen to some inspire you. All I do is win. That's one of my theme songs. All I do is win, no matter what. It doesn't matter if people think you're arrogant. It doesn't matter about that. What matters is that you are expecting the best. And when you expect the best and you expect to win, that even if you fall short, that falling short is still winning.
Yes.
You're still winning on some level. You're still winning. Because you went for one goal, but you made a little short. But guess what? Next time you're gonna go farther, and you're gonna go farther, and you're gonna go farther. So that's and the last thing, extend grace to yourself. If you miss the mark, if you have a setback, extend grace to yourself, because God says his grace is sufficient. Extend grace to yourself. Allow the grace of God to come to you, and know that it's okay. You're going to be all right. Dust yourself off, get back up, and go back and do it again.
You guys give Unitha a hand. She has been just a blessing tonight and blessing us. I just wanted to pat myself on the shoulder for not interrupting you 20 times when you were saying about the winning. So I'm gonna say the two things. No, but I do it though. But so when you said the thing about that is, and then you said winners, and then you used me as an example. So I'm just saying one other thing is, and the reason why I say that you brought that up is that's what I teach my kids is there's just no other option. Like you understand, like there's probably like, remember whenever I'm working on something, I'm just working until I'm done. There's no such thing as quitting. You know what I mean? Like that's the way my dad raised me. That's so like my kids, like there's no other option. So like we just move until we win. And kids already know this anyway. By the way, you guys, kids, whenever you tell a kid no, my son thinks, Alexander, whenever you tell him no, you just haven't quite heard enough information yet. So he's always trying to negotiate it some kind of way. And it's like, I almost applaud it. You know what I mean? Like in doing it. Then my wife gives in. I'm like, you're just encouraging him, by the way. So that's good. And then also you brought up Muhammad Ali, because that's someone I also model that I watch. And he not only said he was the greatest, he also said of all time, there's a couple of things he also said. He also said, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And he always would rap, but it would always be something so outrageous. Yeah. Not only did he believe it, it's like he almost, so like he had one where he said, I'm fast. And I say this to my kids, he said, he just said this, and you guys, he said, I'm fast. He said, I'm so fast, I can turn off the light and get in the bed before the room gets dark. Just to say that. I know. But this is the thing. I always remember this, because this is this. He said it and he believed it, but this is the problem. so did his opponents. So that's why you always tell.
And so did
that's
all
why
of
you
us
always
who
do
were
the
watching.
rush. That's why you.
Mhm.
That's how you become a champion. Nita, I want to
Yep.
thank you so much for coming today, and we're also going to bring you back in the future. You guys, we have so much coming in 2022.
Yes,
Start setting
we
up
do.
this. Listen to this. Share it with people. Just 2 episodes. Pray it was a blessing for you. Look forward to seeing our next episode. I'd like to just close with a word of prayer. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. Thank you for blessing us with all these opportunities. Thank you for opening these doors for us, Lord, that we walk through.
Yes.
Lord, I pray that you just continue to bless us, Lord, and that we have godly goals that you help us achieve, and that we grow to be people that you'd have us to be. Let's be loving people, caring people, and sharing people. Lord, we say this prayer in the name of Jesus, and all the blessed people of God said, amen.
Amen.
All right,
Woo.
praise the Lord, family. I will see you on our next episode.